What's up, everybody? Welcome back to another video on the channel. Today is Thursday, and for the last few weeks we've been preparing for Purim on Thursday by reading some awesome Chassidic stories on Purim. And today I just want to change it up a little bit and read some Chassidic teachings on Purim, which are small, simple teachings on Purim, not so deep. I mean, they're all deep, but not so hard to understand. I'll try to just, give them over the best way that I possibly can understand. So the teachings that we're going to be talking about today are mostly about the reading of the Megillah. One of the main things on Purim is obviously reading the Megillah, the story of Esther, all that. And we're going to learn a little bit about what's going on deeper wise in the reading of the Megillah and what's happening and all that. So it says over here, it says at the end of the Megillah, right, that Esther asked Chachamim, right, was that in the Gemara? I don't know, whatever, yeah. I should probably look over the Megillah again. But that Esther asked that it should be written for the Doiros, Kasvuni L'Doiros, right? This Megillah should be for all generations. And what was her kavanah by saying that? This teaching is from the Maor V'Shemesh, who says that for all the future generations after our time, they should also have the koyach to be mamtik and to sweeten the harsh judgments, right? And to pull down chesed and to pull down good energy and holy light on the Jews through reading the Megillah on Purim, right? And they should be able to make, they should be able to make nisim v'neflois b'chol dar v'dar al yedei zeh, and they should be able to have nisim and neflois through reading the Megillah. That means that she wanted on a deeper level, Esther was putting in the energy of the same thing that happened by them into the Megillah forever. That all these big nisim and all these holy light and everything that came down and this Iskalos of Hashem that happened back then that was so big, Esther wanted all that energy, all that spiritual energy to be in the Megillah. So that whenever we read the Megillah, all that same energy is going to be with us. And this is also one of this is also hinted to in the Gemara when it says Hakoire as a Megillah limafreya lo yotza. It says somebody reads the Megillah limafreya lo yotza. He's not yotze reading the Megillah. Reading the Megillah limafreya means that he reads backwards, or he reads one section here and then another section there and skips around. You have to read in order. Perish, and what's the explanation? Is on a deeper level. It means that the hidden light, this light, says perish by ha'or ha'meir she'im kores Megillah kiderech sipur ma'asiyos, that if you read the Megillah just like it's like a storybook, she'az l'mafreya nasu nisim, that also back then it was just a naze, but not today. We're just reading the story to remind us of whatever, but only l'mafreya, only back then when Esther was alive, that's when the naze happened. Then he's not Yotze Purim. You're not Yotze the Kriya. There's a lot of these teachings today are very similar in the fact that they're all talking about how that when you read the Megillah, you have to internalize this fact that like this Night of Purim is happening right now in this world. We'll see in different teaching. There's always a Achashverosh, there's always a Haman, there's always an Esther, there's always other people in the Megillah. So basically this teaching is that Esther wanted all the holy energy and holy light to be in the Megillah, and when you read the Megillah Limafreya, you're not going to be Yotze, meaning that you're not understanding that there is a huge power in the Megillah. There's a huge light from the Megillah, and there's nisim happening now, not only back then. So that's one teaching, and it's basically the same type of teachings over here. It says over here, it says. This teaching is from the Imros Moshe in the same type of vein about this limafreya. He says in Yiddish, but we're going to read the Hebrew explanation. It says that if you think that Shepam Hoya Ba'olam Haman, right? Pam Ba'avar Hoya Mordechai, right? That back then there was Haman, and back then there was Mordechai. Ba'achshav Ein Haman Ve'ein Mordechai Ba'olam. So then you're not going to be Yotze the reading of the Megillah. Right, that the same or that comes from Mordechai is also apparent today. So the same type of idea is that he's saying is that nowadays people think that, oh, there's no more Haman, there's no more Mordechai, but there's always a war going on between the good and evil. There's always something happening on a deeper level, and the same energy that we have from the Megillah back then, the same light and the same thing is also today. And you need to realize that, or you say lo yatsi that you didn't really internalize this message of Purim. And then same type of says over here, same type of teaching over here. Where is this the same? All the same teaching. I'm sorry, over here. Holshan Efshlan Tzem Megillas Chadashis. Pam. I'm just reading these stories, so it's like I'm trying to pause a little bit in between. I hope you guys don't mind over here. It says that if you also read the Megillah in Targum b'Cholashon lo yatz, you have to read it in Hebrew, right? Lashon HaKodesh. Royim is, and this hints also ki mipnei shenimshach b'kriyaso oiros l'yonim hamshachas chadasim, because through the reading of the Megillah you bring down holy light and holy kindness. Ushikara b'lashon nachri hu mamshich hashpoyes el am b'lashon ahu. When you read it in a different language, you're bringing hashpoyes onto that nation's language. You're not bringing it down onto the Jews. So therefore, l'chein haloy sheshama ashuras yatsa she'ena noisin toikif l'lashon acher l'chein haloyes sheshama ashuras yatsa. So somebody who only doesn't speak it, even though he's reading it, hearing it in Hebrew, he's yotze, because that is the only language that the Megillah is able to bring down into the world, this holy light. That's also from the Mior V'Shemesh, which is very deep teaching, also crazy. And it says over here, it says, Pam, one time, the Kotzker Rebbe walked into the Beis Medrash, I guess around Purim time, and he asked, when are we going to write the Megillah already? And all the people there, all the Chassidim are like, huh? What are you talking about, right? Benichnas and his son, the Rav HaKodesh, Rabbi David of Kotzk, went into his father to ask him. He asked the Kotzk Rebbe, what does this mean? And the Kotzk Rebbe said, we see from the Megillas Esther that all the tzaras that they had, right? So there was a big Yeshua after, right? They had all these tzaras that they were going to get killed and everything like that. But then there was this big Yeshua from Hashem, right? And also in the future, you said in the future we're going to write a Megillah, Mikal Atzaras, Beyiru Gam Az Eich Nitzech HaYeshua Al Yidei Atzaras, and also we'll see that in the future there's going to be a lot of tzaras for Jews, and there's also going to be big Yeshuas for the Jews. And this is what I'm asking: is when are we going to read the Megillah already? Meaning, like he's also asking about Mashiach, really. I think, like when is it all going to be over? When is it going to be? When are we going to write that final Megillah? That to have the big Yeshua Gedolah. And another teaching over here, same type of vein, says Im Kores Kol Anes Ki'ilu Ze Ha'ilam Afreya V'hu Eno Shayach Ze Lo Yatza. Right? That's what this is. The Rav HaKodesh of Baruch HaMeshber said that if somebody reads the whole entire Nes of Purim, Lemafreya, and he doesn't think that he's shaykh to it, then it's not a good thing. In every single generation, chayiv adam lirois es atzmai iluhu yatzim Mitzrayim. It says that in every single, right, this is for Pesach, but it says that in every single generation you have to see yourself as you are leaving Mitzrayim, right? And there's many teachings on that. It says so the same thing applies when you read the Nes of Purim. You have to try to feel be'eshikar hagzera as kol goydel atzar kilu hayisham. Right? It's like, imagine today we don't even really understand these types of things. We have to try to feel it. You know what I'm saying? Imagine you were sitting there and you're just trying to feel this gezerah that the government's going to come kill you. I mean, there's already people who think that regarding vaccines and all that, but that's just stupidity. But people think that today the government's trying to kill them and put them in, camps and whatever. Okay, forget all that. I'm saying, for real, if one day the government decided to kill everybody, that would be a problem for a lot of people, and you would probably feel really scared and intense. And Baruch HaMeshber was saying that you have to feel what they were feeling in the Megillah to try. You have to be happy when you read the Nes. That you're saved. Okay. Interesting. Okay, that's okay, fine, that's that. Now we have a little teaching over here. Hold on a second, where was I teaching before? That I had over here. This is more about that Purim is a very serious day. This teaching is more about the Purim is the Yom HaChosim. Purim is the day that we have a day of sealing, like our fate is sealed in it. So what does that mean? This is from the Ateres Yeshua. I'm not sure what that is. On Purim we have the secret of the Chosim that were sealed. Right? That Achashverosh sealed it, the letter that he gave to Haman with the or at the end of the Megillah, but that the king sealed the document, right? Right? And we know that the Beis Din Ha'elyon is the Kel Elokim Havaya. I am the brisk kunas oil maimer ilu sheyitzak perokei. And the Megillah, right? We know that the Megillah is allowed to be read. The Gemara says on the days of Yud Aleph, Yud Beis, Yud Gimel, Yud Dalet, and Tesvav. Today we only read the Megillah on Yud Dalet and Tesvav. Back then they would read it on Yud Aleph and Yud Beis, Yud Gimel. There's different reasons why in the Gemara over there. And all these days equal up to the amount of Samachay. Samachay is 65. And with the word Megillah and the gematria of the word Megillah is the same amount, is the same number as the gematria of Kel Elokim Havaya. Roimez, so in this hints that what? That the Beis Din Ha'elyon Yitivo Imanu HaChasimas L'Toiva. That on this day, the Beis Din, so he's saying that the shame of the Beis Din Lamala is these names of Hashem that I read, Kel Elokim Havaya. Right? That's the side of the Beis Din of the Mala. Okay? So the days of Purim, Yud Aleph, Yud Beis, Yud Gimel, Yud Dalet, and Tesvav, 11, 12, 13, 14, and 15. And if you add those all up, you get to 65. Right? And 65 plus the gematria of Megillah equals the gematria of Kel Elokim Havaya. And this hints to us that the Beis Din Ha'elyon is Yetiv Imanu HaChasimas L'Toiva. K'mo shenemar Kisvu al HaYehudim K'toy Beinechem B'Shem Melech V'Chosim B'Tabas HaMelech. We see that there's like serious things happening on Purim. There's sealings, there's Kimu V'Kiblu, there's Torah, there's Tshuva. It's such a huge day. I hope that we're all going to have it. And then Kadosh Baruch Hu, and now we have one last teaching from the Divrei Cheskel, the Shinover, the holy Shinover over here. It says that Hashem, this is talking about Mishlech Manos, right? So it says over there, it says that Hashem, we know in the Gemara says that Hashem is Mekayim all the mitzvahs, right? But how is he Mekayim the mitzvah of Shalach Manos? And the Shinover says that he said that the Shalach Manos of Hashem is when he's mashpia on the days of Purim to us Jews. He gives us forgiveness and all these things and all these holy lights and everything like that, right? And also parnasa and everything. And he said from this reason it's very correct what's written in the Megillah. Umishleich manos ishloreu v'loy nichtav v'lishleich manos. Right? It's to send. Saying from Umishlech Manos, it's different than Vilishlech Manos. Ki apasik miskavin gamla HaKadosh Baruch HaSholech Manos lezera to us Jews, right? So it says in the pasuk, because it says Umishlech Manos ish l'reu, ish is referring to Hashem, even though Hashem is not an ish, but it says in the pasuk that Hashem can be referred to as ish. And Re'eu is Hem B'nei Yisrael Mekav Meito Yisbarach Matanos Toivos B'Yemzeh. So the Mishlach Manas that we're doing, what's it called, on this day is from the Rebbeinu Yisrael. That's the Mishlach Manas, all the presents and all the tshuva and all the forgiveness over here. Let's try to find one more story. I've been reading this sefer for many years, and there's always just like I marked down wherever I found something interesting over here. Let's see over here. So it says over here. Okay, this is the last one today. It says Rashi. It says that this is the little headline of the piece. It says the Ikar Sudas Purim Balayla Ki Ikar Mahapolis Amalek Chayse Balayla. Right. So not talking about the night of Purim after you the Megillah having a Suda. It's talking about like a lot of people will start the Suda into, close to Shkia or whatever, and then go into the night, right? So what's the reason for that? According to the Belz Rebbe over here, it says Rashi's parish on the pasuk Vayi Yadav Emuna Adba Shemesh, right? It says when the Bnei Yisrael were fighting Amalek, Moshe's hands were Emuna until the sun came, right? Until the sun went away. Shayu Amalekim Chashim Hashoyz Be'ezer Shah Him Noitzim, right? The Amalek people were thinking, certain times where they were going to win, right? And Moshe, Moshe Hachama, and he mixed up the word, and he mixed up their hours. They were trying to calculate by certain things, whatever they were, that this is the time that they were going to be able to win. And Moshe held the sun in its place, or whatever it was, right? Moshe Hachama, and therefore all their timing got messed up. The Machar Zarchayim, right? It says that we see that the sun that was supposed to show to shine for the next day actually shined that day. I hope I'm understanding this correctly. And this is also why we have the Iker, the Sudas Purim Balayla, the Kivan Sheitzel Mechias Amalek Choyse Iker Maflasim Balayla, Ki Nishtala Lahem Aseder, right? Because they wanted to. Moshe had to mess up their hours, and then I guess the sun went away, so then they fought them closer to the nighttime. So Hashem Shal Machar Zarchayim, right? L'chein Anu Nahagim Ikra Simcha Balayla, because the Ikra Simcha is that at the nighttime when the sun got messed up and whatever, that is when Amalek fell. So he's saying that we have to try to bring the Suda into the nighttime. What's it called? It says because that's when Amalek fell, and when Haman fell. Haman is part of Amalek, obviously, and what's it called? So we have to be b'simcha. That's also something. So I hope people understood anything I just said, because it doesn't sound so clear to me. But we're gonna upload anyway, because why not? And everyone should have a great Shabbos, and hopefully we'll be getting ready for Purim more and more in the next 2 weeks. And that's it.